But let's take a look at these patch notes then. So, 2.0.4 is coming soon. Big one. First one is a big one. Respecking of the Ascendancy classes. So redoing an Ascendancy trial now allows you to respec which Ascendancy class you have chosen at the Ascension device, but only if the trial would grant you the number of points you already have. So if you've got a tier 4, you have to go do a tier 4 trial, and then, you know, like a 79, 78, I think that's the end ones, right? 72 plus, and then you'll be able to get through it. They've also lowered the levels you need to actually go and do them. From 60 to 55 for Trials of Chaos. So that's pretty good. Charm changes. When are they doing this, by the way? We're planning to release this later today, guys. Or I guess it is later today for me. It's 1 in the morning. Charm changes. Belts level 30 and above now have implicit modifiers of 1 to 2 charm slots, while belts level 60 above. This only affects new belts. Oh, bollocks. Don't invest in any belts, guys. Do not buy belts till after the patch. All belts are worthless. They are all worthless. Explicit modifiers for additional charm slots and belts can no longer roll. Zephyrs, Genesis, and Ingenuity unique belts no longer have additional charm slots and modifiers, though existing versions of these items are not affected. Ah, so I've got a rare Ingenuity then. This word I'm not pronouncing has intentionally kept its additional charm slots for now, as in the future we will be expanding the maximum possible charm slots to 6. That's interesting. Let's just run like 15, 18 stun resists and just never get stunned in Sims. Massively increase the value of the prefixes that restore life, mana, or grant guard when charms are used. You can update existing items to the new values with the Divine Orb. They better be big values if you're going to divine that shit, right? All charms but the Golden Charm have had their maximum charges halved and their charges per use halved, making them refill more quickly. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yes, all charms refill twice as fast. The base duration of Stone Charm has been increased from 2.5 to 3 seconds. I thought Stone Charm was really good anyway, but I guess it's been improved. New Stash Tab affinities for the following categories: Socketables, so all of your runes and all of that stuff. Fragments, including tablets and trial keys, amazing. Breach, amazing. Expedition, amazing. And Ritual. What specific loot comes out of Ritual? Oh, that's going to hold all of our omens. Excellent. That's cool. So we'll be able to set up some stash tabs for some easier sorting. Atlas bookmarks. You can have up to 16 bookmarks. You'll be able to bookmark stuff and travel around your map, so you can go find some citadels, bookmark them, and then go back to your farming zone and not forget. Real good quality of life stuff there. I think that's awesome. Nice that they're thinking about putting some of that stuff in and getting it into the game. Endgame changes. Pinnacle bosses now have unlimited respawns at difficulty 0, so you can go and learn the fights to your heart's content. Go take in a bricked character and learn the fights actually properly and all of the movesets and stuff. So that's going to be quite cool. That's a big change. That's good. Tower and hideout maps now have a higher minimum number of rare monsters that can spawn. The final rare monster defeated in tower and hideout maps will drop a map of the same tier you are running, as long as you have enough waystone chance. Defeating the final rare monster in tower maps is still not required to complete the tower map. Added UI tracking for rare and unique monsters in unique maps, tower maps, and hideout maps. Okay. Crafting changes. As each new rune tier is unlocked, we are removing the lower runes from the drop pool. This has stopped you getting spammed with lesser runes at high. Oh, that's amazing. Lesser runes no longer drop after 31. Mediums no longer drop past level 52. Overall, past level 52, you will drop more greater runes than currently, but lesser runes and runes will no longer drop. Rogue Exiles will always have appropriate tier runes socketed into dropped items. Scepters can now have sockets, and we've added a new set of talisman modifiers to scepters. That's big. That could be really big. There's a lot of builds using scepters now, so it depends really what we're going to be able to put in them and what socket bonuses they get. So we'll have to check that. There could be some really big. That could be really big. Well, not really big, but it could certainly be an upgrade to a lot of classes. Totem changes. They're going to get some resistance, so they won't die as much. And Ironwood support totems now also grant totems summoned by support skills plus 10% to maximum wall resistance, making them potentially even tankier. So you can have Titans. Light stun changes. Moderately reduce the capacity for monsters to light stun you, especially towards crawl and endgame, by lowering the amount of stun damage they deal, and increasing the minimum they must deal to light stun you. Additionally, elemental chaos and range stun damage has been penalised even further, so you're less likely to get stunned by random stray projectiles and other things of the sort. These changes don't affect light stuns dealt by players. We've added a cluster to the passive tree near chaos inoculation that allows you to invest into a heavy amount of stun and ailment threshold based on your energy shield. We'll be adding more stun mitigation later around the tree, notably in the dexterous section. That's incredible because stun was a real problem in 0.1 when we went CI and we had to like spec and like really hard spec on anoints and things to deal with it and path to it. So having something near CI to cover that just makes sense. I think that's good. Player changes. Shard Scavenger, in addition to its current effects, now also restores 1 cooldown use for all your grenades, grants a buff for 2 seconds that prevents your crossbow attack consuming bolts. So, Shockwave Totem base attack time is now 1.5 seconds. It's going to attack twice as fast. Frozen Locust can now be used while using other skills to interrupt what you're doing, similarly to Dodge Roll. That's quite cool. You can now Shield Bash if you release Raised Shield after blocking a hit from a faraway attacker if there is a different enemy in Shield Bash range. Okay. Storm Lance is now able to be supportable by ground effect relate supports. That could be interesting. That's a buff to Storm Lance, guys. We can maybe find some broken up combinations for that for the Amazon. That's cool. Raised Shield is now able to be supported by Concentrate Effect. Fire Exposure and Lightning Exposure supports have had their wording adjusted to make it clear their effects apply to any target, not just enemies. This is not a functional change, just clarification of wording. Whirlwind Lance and the Whirlwind keyword hover over now clarified that the Whirlwind's collapsed out deals melee damage. Visual Fix Glacial Lance is now able to chain off terrain. Improvements and other changes. Added an equip gems section to the gem cutting interface. They said they were going to add this. So you can actually see what you've got equipped and just upgrade them faster from the top. Sounds nice. Added rarity borders to items available to purchase from vendors. Greater Rune of Tithing now provides 1 to 100 Lightning Thorns damage. Was previously 1 to 10. Yeah, that's pretty shit. Attribute runes now have a more appropriate gold value to vendors. Breach hands can now drop splinters at all levels. The amount starts low and increases, similar to splinter drops from monsters. Oh, maybe we get a higher top end drop. That'd be nice. Shrines are easier to click on. A slew of monster changes. Anything been buffed? It's just frequency of skills reduced, behaviours changed, probably mostly nerfs. And then, once again, a proper raft of bug fixes here. Fixed a bug where players were gaining 1% of their evasion rating as armour at all times. Okay. Fixed a bug where Ripwire Ballista and Dark Effigy were not displaying totem-specific stats. Corruption modifier, yeah, it's just a slew of bug fixes. Unique charms could not be chanced. Oh, we can chance unique. Oh, that's a good one to land on. Aren't there some unique charms that are worth shitloads? Isn't there one that's worth... There's some that's worth quite a lot. If we don't know what tiers they are, if people have been collecting charms, or even if there are rare charms, I don't know if there are unique charms, it might be worth trying to buy up some bases to go for some chances there. There might be some chance stuff there available. So, yeah. Cool. Good set of changes. Particularly happy about the charm changes for belts. I think being able to have 3 charms just because you've got a belt on is going to be really, really... It's going to give a lot of scope to actually using charms. Oh, it's something I've not really looked into, so I think that one's particularly good. The Atlas bookmarks is nice quality of life. This is really, really good for new players. The Pinnacle bosses have unlimited respawn attempts at difficulty 0. That's really, really good to be able to go and practice those bosses and just learn them without the fear of losing XP, without the fear of losing your first key, without any of that fear. You can just go and learn, right? And that's really nice. I think that's the sort of quality of life they should be looking to add, especially if they want to encourage new players into the game. Yeah, overall, I think these are a solid set of patch notes. Looking forward to the changes and playing them when I'm finally finished with work tomorrow.